right, students and parents, if you're watching, one thing that teachers love is when you engage in the content and you engage in the discussion. And they definitely want you to be active when they ask and as you follow the session norms and the session rules. But if your teacher is asking for a reaction, a great way to do that is by using the reactions that you have here, the nonverbals, in Zoom. So I'm in a Zoom window, a Zoom session. My teacher is just using her picture, so it looks a little different. But if you're not seeing this right screen, it means that you haven't turned on the participants bar. So you want to click on the participants button, and then you'll see everybody in the class. And depending on what your teacher has allowed and not allowed, assuming she has allowed these, you can, let's say she asks who has a question, you could raise your hand. And on her screen, she will see something similar to what you're seeing here. I have my hand raised. And she can lower your hand, maybe ask you to come off mute or that kind of thing. Or type in the chat, which we've talked about before, but I can review that. Okay, I'm going to take that off. Let's say she asks who agrees with that. You might say yes, or you might say no. It's going to give her a different nonverbal cue by your name in her participants or his participants window. All right, there's a button for go slower. That's just a subtle indication that you might be getting a little lost. You might be getting a little behind. Could they go slower? Could they go faster? So some really great ways to give feedback to that teacher. If I click more, I have some other options as well, like the thumbs up, thumbs down, clapping, and so forth. Another way that you might want to talk to your teacher without coming off mute and do it in more of a quieter, subtle way, is to use the chat window. So you would type in the chat window, I don't understand. Now, be aware you're going to need to click on the down arrow and choose just the teacher's name and send it privately. Or if she's asked you to submit an answer publicly, you would keep it on everyone, depending on what she or he has allowed. Another thing that you can do is if the teacher has asked you to come off mute, maybe they've called your name to participate or to react, then you definitely want to know about the mute button. I feel like most of you that are Zooming know about it, but if you don't, in the lower left-hand corner, there's a button and it toggles mute and unmute. So whichever one you want, okay, is the one, it's just a toggle on and off. So muting just means that's your microphone, not your speakers, your microphone. And that just means that your teacher won't be able to hear you. So you're going to unmute to talk. Be sure to check your equipment prior to your Zoom sessions. Right now, I'm using a set of earbuds that have a microphone. There are earbuds that don't have this piece, so check that. If you're using a headset, that's great, but some headsets just have the speakers, the part that you listen to, but they don't have the microphone. So if that's the case, that's okay. You just want to make sure your microphone on your Chromebook or your laptop or whatever you're using works. A lot of times what you can do is click the upward facing arrow right next to that mute unmute button and control what is going on with your microphone. Under the select a microphone option, if maybe you have a headset that's plugged in, well, Zoom needs to know that. So you need to click it in the list. So like, for example, I have a Logitech headset I sometimes use at home. And so therefore, if that was plugged in, I would choose the Logitech. It would say Logitech here. The speakers, same thing. If I wanted to listen out of my Logitech headset, those would be listed here. So I would want to speak into them and listen to them. So I would select it in both sections. Make sure you're very aware of this button as you troubleshoot any speaker or microphone issues. Also with the video, same thing. If you want to control your video, you just click on the upward facing arrow and you have some options there. Most of the time, I'm troubleshooting audio more than I am video. I hope those help.